Everybody, this is Lynn from Creative Concept Crafts with this week's release, and it's a great sports collection, one really for the boys, the men in your life, and they're always difficult to create cards for, I find. So we have tennis, we have cricket, we have rugby, we have football, this one's been personalised for an order, and we're going to create the golf one today. So there's 5 in total. I've only created enveloboxes for this as I didn't feel we needed a box. There's not an awful lot of depth involved. So I've just done enveloboxes which all have either a ball or the cricket cricket bat, and the golf one's got the tee on. So we're going to show you how to put the card together. It's a really quick and simple one. So if you're batch making for selling, it's a fabulous one to do. We have the base card, which I've already cut and scored. And I find the easiest way to do this is to just score down that centre line, burnish it, and then as you fold, just pop those outer pieces down. Then you can push the card in and just burnish all those lines well down. Try and get as much spring as you can out of the card so that it stands. If you don't burnish it enough, you find it'll tend to splay, but if you get it well down, then it tends to hold its form. I found that I didn't need a support inside of this one because it's wider than it's tall. So that's the blue is mat 1. Now, if you wanted to do a text or a stamped something on the back of it, which I've done on the football one, this is for an order, like I said, then they can write on whatever they want onto the back. So if you want that, then you'll need to cut 2 of the shaped mats, and then there's 2 of the rectangular mats, 1 to go in each side at the back. So that's 3 or 4 pieces of mat 1, if you're wanting to add, like I said, the sentiment on the back. And then you'll need 3 pieces of the decor mat piece, which is the lime green in this, and that's where they're sitting. Now I'm also going to create one with no text, so there'll be a decor mat with no text on the front. So if I haven't got the sport that you're wanting, you can still use the design and maybe add your own elements. I probably will add more sports in the future, but it's taken me quite a long time to get this little lot together, designing and creating all the elements for them. So I had to stop somewhere, I'm afraid. I'm just hoping I've picked on 5 of the more popular sports. So I'm just burnishing and creating the mats ready. So just layering up mat 2 onto mat 1. And because I've gone round the edge on the scoreboard, the mat just sits inside that burnish line, so you're always sure of where you're going to be placing your mats. Just flip that over and burnish down once we've done. Can you see? I think you can see the edge is shaped. I just like the finish. I think it gives a really nice, it's almost like a die cut edge to your design. I do it on all my cards. So I'm just now matting and layering the pieces up onto the card. Remember, these 2 bits go to the back, not on the front piece of the card. And again, just flip and burnish in place. And now I'm just going to go over those burnished lines and again get out as much spring as you can. Really push down, don't be frightened of pushing down to get them as flat as you can. And that's the base card complete, so real quick and easy. And now we're on to the fun part of the design and decor elements. So we have our bag, which has got, there's quite a few of them have got draw design elements. This has got draw, and then it's got some pieces that are added on and glued on. The golf ball is drawn as well. Now, if you don't know how to do it, I did put a short video up on my Facebook page, because when I convert into SVGs, even though it's assigned to draw, when you go to draw on the scan and cut, it doesn't work. So you have to go open it in Canvas, change the inner line to draw, send it to the scan and cut, and everything's fine from there. So we have 6 clubs. We've got 2 wedges, 3 irons and a putter. And there's little pieces I've added and glued on to the end. We've got the handles, and then we've got the 2 heads for the wedges. Don't they look cute? There's also some draw elements you can add on to those. I haven't actually done it on these, but I did on some others that I created earlier. I'm now just going to add a little bit of shape into the bag, into the balls and into the tees. So it's just so that it's not completely flat. Anything that's rounded, I always round. The clubs obviously not. Now there's quite a few sentiments also included with the pack related to the sport. There's round about half a dozen, I think, in this golf one. There may be 1 or 2 more. So you can ring the changes. I'm just going to start off by adding this particular one, which is the 19th hole. Just adding a little bit of foam tape for dimension onto the back. And I'm going to add this to the back on the left-hand side of the card. And as I never set anything straight, I'll be putting it on at an angle. So there's the 19th hole. And I'm going to add the other elements now. Just bear in mind when you're adding these, the envelope box is quite a bit bigger than the card, but it's to allow you to come up above the card when you're adding the elements. But just bear in mind both height and width. You obviously can't go behind that, or you won't be able to close it to send it off. I find if you put the bag just slightly overlapping the edge of the grass at the bottom, that's round about where it will fit, whether you put it on straight or whether you put it on an angle. My thinking is it sits on a golf trolley, so it would be at an angle anyway. So I'm just adding some hot glue just in the centre, but down at the bottom quarter of the bag, and I'm not pushing it down too hard because I want the golf clubs to sit inside and behind. I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue onto each of the handles, and I'm just going to sort of offset them one on top of the other until we've got all 6 set. So I'm sort of aligning 3 offset, and then I'll come back in line. Different heights as well. Can you see that's 3 of them lined? And just continue till we've got all 6 of them added into like a bunch as they would appear inside of a golf bag. Just whichever direction you want to go. I think this is such a fun design. I had a lot of fun creating, but it was a lot of work. There's a lot of elements involved in these 5 cards. There we go. So there's all our golf clubs. Now, if you wanted, you could keep 1 or 2 of these to add on the back. Or you could indeed cut a couple of extras out. So I'm just going to put some hot glue at the back, and I'm going to tuck it in and down behind so that they're just peeking out at the top of the bag. So I just double check at this stage to make sure that your box is going to close with the elements in. So they're all snug in there. And to finish off, I'm going to add a couple of tees and a ball onto the front, and then the other tees and the other balls I'll add to the other side. Like I said, you may want to add a club at the back or a couple of clubs. It's just a matter of preference, choice of what you want to do. So I'm just adding a couple of the tees here. Just getting rid of all the glue strings. I love them. Yay. Oh, for somebody to design hot glue that doesn't string everywhere. And I'm going to sit the golf ball as if it's sat on a tee. Okay. And the remainder that I've cut out here, I'm going to add into the back right hand side. It's a real quick and easy, but I kind of think these are really work, and I'm sure that the boys in our lives will appreciate. They're so hard to try and come up with cards, and like I said, I will probably end up doing more sports if there's one that you particularly want that I haven't done. If you message me, and I'll try and see what I can do for you. So there's our great golf card completed. Isn't that great? So 5 in the collection. There's the golf with its envelope box. So for the other cards again, just bringing them in for you. We have, that's the cricket bat for the cricket. We have the football with the nets and all the regalia for football. We have tennis. And finally, we have the rugby. A great collection. I hope you enjoy creating them. Until the next time, bye for now.